Welcome to another video. Today we are going to watch and see when should we take Warding Trinket or Sweeper at level 1. Most of you guys are defaulting for the same thing every single time. You are getting the Warding Trinket when most of the times it's the other way around. 9 out of 10 games you want to go Sweeper level 1, and I'm going to explain you every single situation from losing lane, winning lane. So in this example right here, we are playing a very strong lane, Blitzcrank Draven against Jinx Thresh. Because our bot lane is way stronger than enemy bot lane, what we are going to do is we have to control the bushes. So every single time that you are on a winning lane, you take Sweeper. And now we are going to see why do you take Sweeper. Here you guys will see how I'm playing around the bush control, and me and Draven are going to be able to control the lane, right? Thresh out-attacks me inside the bush, so I notice, oh, this might be warded, so I get rid of the ward. Once the ward is cleared, you are going to see how far back Thresh and Jinx have to play. It's not because I'm playing Blitzcrank, because of my hook, but any single champion that is a strong champion early on is going to be able to do the same thing, right? They need to respect you if you are strong and they don't have vision. Remember, they cannot see you inside the bush. Wait, time out. What was that? Bit of a funny break. Here I try to hook Thresh because I want also to explain some concepts while we are doing the video, so you guys get something extra, right, from the video. You clicked here, you stayed here, you're getting something more. Alright, so Thresh has no aftershock. So I know if I hook Thresh, because he has no aftershock, we are going to be able to chunk him really out, and he's going to be out of the lane. So when we get level 2, they get level 2 as well. I get hooked, but Thresh has no aftershock, I have aftershock, I keep clicking aggressive, I use my E, my punch, to proc my aftershock, I will be safe. Thresh is going to lose his entire HP, he cannot lane anymore. And what this allows us to do is to have control, right? So we started with the Sweeper, we used some super fundamentals, and we got a really good wave stack coming into a 4th wave crash. And now we are able to deliver a very big wave into enemy tower. We call our jungler, and our jungler will gank. If your jungler cannot gank, or he is not able to gank because in your junglers don't gank, then you can use this to have a better base. You can roam towards mid lane, you can invade the enemy jungler, you can do a lot of things. But this all starts because you got Sweeper level 1. That's what you guys need to remember. Sweeper level 1 when you are winning late. 100%, no exception. Now the fun part begins, because now we saw a winning lane. I have so many examples with winning lanes, but you will say, well, what if we are in a losing lane, right? So when you are in a losing lane, there are two options. Either you are in a losing lane with a ganking jungler in your team, or you are in a losing lane with a farming jungler in your team. And now we are going to talk about what we do with each jungler and why it's so important. So when you are playing with a ganking jungler, and this is the example we are going to watch right now, so let's focus on that, we are going to choose Sweeper again, and this is why. If you want to know more about how jungle works and which junglers are ganking junglers and farming junglers, you can check out my video about it, 1 hour long, full guide, how to track your jungler for no junglers. There's a chapter where I explain which junglers are ganking and which junglers are farming junglers. As you guys can see, I'm starting Sweeper level 1 with Rel and Aphelios in my lane, and I'm playing against Jinx Sona. Not a really losing lane, but we lose prio. We actually lose the prio. We cannot have the push against it because Jinx with the rockets can spam it and push the lane. I'm also a bit late. So at the end of the day, I have multiple examples, but I decided to choose this one because my jungler is a Viego, who is a resource heavy jungler, but also he can gank, and he's pathing, if you pay attention, from top lane to bot lane. Okay, so why is it important to start with Sweeper when you're in a losing lane? Regardless of the support, it works better with engaged supports, as you guys will see right now. It's because if you are on a losing matchup and the enemy is pressuring, what are they going to do after the second wave or after the third wave? They are going to put a ward on your tribush or in the river. So your job as a support is going to be tracking when the enemy is going to go for the river and when they disappear from lane and they are putting that vision, okay? So what do? You take that vision away, and now if they want to push, they are going to do it without vision, blind. And this is where the fun comes from. If you are playing with a ganking jungler, that means that is able to gank very, very easy, because you are setting him up for success. Because there's no ward in the tribush, there's no ward in the pixel in the river, and now your jungler, he should know. You can type to him. In this game, I actually did. I typed to him, Diego, there are no wards in bot lane, and you can do an amazing engage if you are an engaged champion. And if you are playing an Ardent or an Enchanter, it's a bit harder to do. You can just let your jungle start the fight, and then you can follow with your AD carry, and this relieves you a lot of pressure. That's why if you go normal ward, your normal ward is not going to accomplish anything. Now you are in a losing matchup and you have a farming jungler, and I'm going to show you a clip that is going to work as an exception to the farming jungler when your jungler is weaker than enemy jungler and there is not much play potential that your jungle can do. So the main objective for this game is that my Xin Zhao can farm and Kindred cannot invade him properly, okay? You have been in multiple games in your solo queue experience where you had a Hecarim in the jungle, or a Cartus, or a farming jungler, a weak jungler, that was getting perma invaded all the time. Enemy Shaco, he was invading. Graves getting invaded. Kindred in this exact same example, invading your jungler. And you are just laning in bot lane saying, wow, it's a jungle gap, I cannot do anything. But that's going to change today. So you want to take the warding trinket, like in this example. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a perfect trinket, so I know that Kindred might look for a red jump the wall invade. So you guys see how my placement of the ward is perfectly in the middle of the river. So if he jumps, we will see him invade. And if he goes through the river, we are also going to see him invade. So this is going to allow my Xin Zhao to farm his blue buff without getting the cheesy invade from red side, jump into the pit and go and invade enemy Gromp and kill my Xin Zhao. And this is going to change the entire game. So we are lucky enough that Varus Rel is going to get prio every time against Alistar lane, Alistar Kai'Sa in this case. We are going to have the prio. So I'm already thinking how to help my Xin Zhao if it's something is going to happen or an event is going to happen. And pay attention, close attention, what happens. Xin Zhao finished the blue buff, and as I predicted, we are going to see Kindred very soon. There it is. There is Kindred on the minimap. You guys can see it. Now Xin Zhao will see this and ward from himself and abandon the Gromp. He abandons the Gromp, pulls the Gromp out. Kindred is not able to get the Gromp out of Xin Zhao's hands. And now my Xin Zhao is in a way better position. Of course, there's some things that are going to happen in this game that are going to put us not in a great situation, because my Sylas ends up dying to a very, very predictable gank from Kindred. But what I will do now with my prio is that I'm going to go and help my Xin Zhao on the Raptor camp, right? I'm going to try to help him out on the Raptor camp. Unfortunately, things don't go as planned, and he ends up dying. But because Sylas has TP and he comes back, we end up skirmishing. Kindred ends up dying, so he's not able to snowball as much as he can, or at least he's not able to play how he wants to play, right? He's not able to play comfortable as a Kindred. He is not able to snowball properly. Okay, you know what time is it? 2 times this video, a bit of super fundamentals together with the theme of the video. Let's talk about what we should be doing right now here. The clip is not finished. So as a support, it's very important to communicate with your team. I have done multiple videos saying it all the time. But here I type to my Sylas, I want a ward on my Raptors. Why? Because I need to see if Kindred reinvades my jungler, and also Xin Zhao needs this type of information. So I see by pressing tab, very important to press tab to check out what's happening. I see that my Sylas has a ward, so I ask him nicely to put a ward on the enemy Raptors, on my Raptors, sorry, and he does. So we are going to get information that if Kindred is invading or is not invading. So I still have my ward. I used one Trinket ward at level 1, and now I have another one because it's already 3 minutes and a half past. So I'm going to place my ward in a very nice spot in the river, but not in the pixel bush, because I want to see if Alistar is rotating. So the ward is not useful in the tribush. He's not useful in the pixel bush because he's too far away. And this allows me to be first in the rotation, knowing exactly where Alistar is. And so my Varus is also safe in bot lane. At the end of the day, support is all about being first when it matters. Here, I was way faster than Alistar. We had good vision about where Alistar was. I could make a way better decision and I arrived when it mattered. If you want a more in-depth review on how to play your lane on a losing matchup, I will leave you here or here, this site, one of my videos that I explain how you should utilize way better your tools to play in losing matchups, and also I show you examples of professional players and other examples that can complement this video as well, so feel free to check it out. That was all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, first, if you are winning, always take sweeper. Second, if you are losing, also take sweeper if your jungler is a ganking jungler and he can impact your lane. And if he cannot impact your lane, you have a weak jungler, he wants to farm, make sure you get that warding trinket, get some wards around him, get some information for him so he can play the game and he will be strong. And you guys need to survive. Maybe in another video I will tell you how to survive and what you can do when you are really struggling. But as always, ask me anything in the comments, like the video if you liked it. Feel free to come by on the Discord server, you have the link below as well. I'm streaming multiple days a week, you can check that out as well. I try to make it as educational as possible. And as always, have a great day. See ya later. Bye bye.